Yes, I can spoil the Florida project, and yes, I'm gonna be sad afterwards. So here we go, here's another movie recap, and as always, spoilers ahead. So the movie's about the single mother Halley and her 6-year-old daughter Moonee, and they live right by Walt Disney World in this rundown budget motel called Magic Castle Inn. Now, some tourists come and stay at the motel, however, for a lot of people like Halley, this motel is their permanent residency. Halley is currently struggling financially, and like a lot of people that are living at the motel, they're doing their best to get by. And there's this community that has formed with the people that live at this motel and at the motel nearby. Now, it's just Halley and Moonee, and Halley works as a stripper. Like, Moonee adores her mother, and Halley adores Moonee. But the thing about Halley is she gotta get her ish together. Halley does a really good job at protecting Moonee. Like, Moonee doesn't know that she's living in poverty. She doesn't understand that she's broke. She thinks she lives in a castle. Got her best friends to hang out with every day. There's a pool. They're right by Disney World. Like, she doesn't understand that certain activities that happen at this motel aren't normal, like fights and kicking out drug dealers. Because yes, Halley loves her daughter, but Moonee acts out at that motel. Like, on the daily, Moonee and her friends are misbehaving. And Halley doesn't discipline her daughter. She kind of thinks it's cute. Now, it's summertime, so that means Moonee gets to hang out with her best friends around the motel all day. However, they're unsupervised, like nobody's watching these kids. Like, Moonee and her friends are known for causing trouble, but they literally have nothing else to do. Unfortunately, using their imaginations and bothering people and asking random people for money to buy them ice cream is the only way these kids can entertain themselves. And the main person they're constantly bothering is Bobby, the motel manager, and he does everything, and everybody loves Bobby, and Bobby really loves the kids. Bobby sees the good in these people, and he does whatever he can to make their stay as comfortable as it can be, even though the motel is falling apart and he's losing a lot of money. And on top of that, Bobby is struggling to maintain a healthy relationship with his own son. Moonee is best friends with Scooty. Now, Scooty's mom, Ashley, and Halley are real tight, and they have this agreement that when Ashley's away at work, Halley will watch Scooty, and in favor, Ashley will give her and Moonee free food from her job. However, Halley don't be watching her own kid, let alone Scooty. And these kids get in trouble one day, spitting on people's cars, cussing and laughing at people, and we see Halley not discipline her kid. And Bobby warns Halley. The owner of the car, Stacy, sees the kid spitting on her car, and she's like, oh, hell no, I'm gonna tell your mama. And Moonee's like, go tell my mama, come up here. And when Stacy confronts Halley about her daughter, Halley is just as disrespectful as Moonee. It's obvious that Halley's not going to discipline Moonee, and Stacy looks at Halley and goes, shame on you. Now, while all this is going on, Moonee and Scooty are becoming best friends with Stacy's granddaughter, Jancy. She recently lost her job as a stripper because she said to the backroom specials. Yeah, apparently the manager didn't like the fact that Halley wasn't doing extra stuff that didn't involve her dancing on the stage, and because she lost her job, she's at risk at losing her benefits through the state. Halley's in the pickle, but she's doing the best she can to get by and keep paying rent to stay at the motel. Now, one day, Moonee and Scooty's friend Dickie moves away with his family. Dickie's father makes him give away all his toys, and one of the things that was left behind was a lighter, and Scooty has kept this lighter. And with this lighter, Scooty, Moonee, and Jancy decide to go to some old abandoned apartment complexes, and for funsies, they set it on fire. Everybody from the motel can see that this apartment complex is burning down, and at the same time, Ashley can see that her son Scooty is real quiet. Like, everybody at the motel is nosy. They want to go down and see it and take pictures. Hell, Halley makes Moonee take a picture right in front of the apartment complex that she didn't know she burned down. And since Scooty is quiet, Ashley knows that her son had something to do with it. And after this, Ashley cuts ties with Halley. She tells Scooty to not hang out with Moonee ever again. So now Halley has no free food, and Moonee just lost her best friend. Not only that, Halley's financial situation has gotten worse. She's selling cheap perfumes in random hotel parking lots. Halley has done everything she can to provide a life for her and Moonee, but she has ran out of options. So at this point, Halley decides to now sell herself online. She is now willing to do some things for a piece of change. And what she's doing is putting Moonee in the bathroom tub, playing loud music, and having clients come over to the hotel room. Now, Bobby is suspicious when Halley all of a sudden is able to pay her rent. Bobby tells Halley, hey, whatever you're doing, stop doing it, or else you're out of here. But Halley is hard-headed, and she's quick to react. You can't tell Halley anything because she gets defensive. And with so many things not going her way, her temper and behavior has gotten worse. One day, Halley scams a man involving magic band passes, and he comes to confront her at the motel. And Bobby's there to break it up, but Bobby lets her know, hey, after this, any guests you have coming through this motel, yeah, they have to check in at the front. Now, Halley knows what Bobby is saying. When Bobby says this, Halley starts panicking because that's how she's been paying her bills. Like, Halley needs money, so she decides to go to Ashley and apologize, but at the same time ask for money for rent. But Ashley ain't messing with her. She goes, you hoe, if my son was ever near you while you were whoring, oh, I'm gonna take you out. And Halley goes bet, and she starts whooping Ashley's ass. But unfortunately, this fight is happening right in front of Scooty. Movie ends with Child Protective Services showing up to question Halley and Moonee. Halley knows her days with Moonee are numbered. So to share one last final moment, Halley takes Moonee to an upscale hotel. And they have a big, beautiful breakfast, and they charge it to a random room. Later on, Child Protective Services show up, and they tell Halley, hey, we know you've been doing things with men for money. They separate Halley and Moonee, and Moonee goes down to say goodbye to Scooty. And when Scooty says goodbye to Moonee, he goes, I'm sorry they're taking you away from your mom. And Moonee goes, they're taking me away from my mom. She's not talking to no investigators. She's throwing a tantrum. She's letting them know, I'm not going anywhere without my mother. And at the same time, Halley's going off on investigators. She's telling them, you're not taking my daughter away from me. Moonee runs off the Magic Castle Inn property, and she runs to the motel Jancy is staying at. Moonee breaks down crying, and she tells Jancy, you're my best friend, and this may be the last time I ever see you. Would you please come with me? From there, we see the two little girls run towards the park, and they run into Magic Kingdom.